this is a section of the stream that I think I'm going to highlight specifically, and upload it to YouTube and other like platforms if I want to kind of like get the word of this idea that I have out there. And if anyone wants to join in trying to do it with me or see what happens about trying to complete this challenge, or if anyone's interested in torturing themselves like I'm about to. So I was thinking of a challenge for Outlast Trials, much not unlike some other challenges that have been through the community in different communities throughout the years. So I decided to name it the Solitary Confinement Challenge, but it will also just be known as, like, colloquially, I think is the right way to say that word. It'll be known as the No Damage Run, the No Hit Run, the Permadeath Run, the God Run, just like in other types of games. So the main requirements of this challenge are: must complete all trials in the Genesis category, includes all main trials 45 minutes, and MK challenges 15 minutes. So that means all of these. So what I was saying about escape is this is new. I don't know if this is permanent, but if it is, you'd probably have to do this one too. But I forgot that this was even in here because I don't really do it that often. But if it's a permanent addition, then yes, this would be included. But you'd have to do kill the snitch and all the MKs, cleanse the orphans and all the MKs, grind the bad apples and all the MKs, vindicate the guilty, all the MKs, pervert the futterman, all these, poison the medicine, all these, Fledge the Prosecutor, these three. Liquidate the Union, these three. Shopping Mall, and those two. The Resort, and those two. And then the Television Studio, just the single one. All without taking damage at any time, including escape back here. So that would be the challenge. You have to complete literally every challenge, every mission the game has available without taking damage once. If you take damage once, you have to go back to the beginning and start again. I at first had an idea to have people do this all in one sitting, but I feel like that's probably going to take you like 6 hours or something. So I won't require that, as long as there's another rule in there that we'll get to. So I'll go back to that document in a second, but I just want to count the total number of missions real quick. I could Google it, but I'm just going to count myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Okay. Obviously 26, 32, 32 plus 5, 37, 41, 45, 48, 50, 51 missions. Yes, there's 51 missions in the game, separated by MK versus main trial is technically Lilia, or sorry, is Amelia's a main trial? 45 minute? Yeah, it is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. 12 main trials out of 51 missions, which would give us what? Isn't that 39 MK trials? Because that would, 39 plus 12 is 51, yeah. So 39 MK trials. So 12 main missions, 31 MK trial, or 39 MK trials, all be completed with the following rules that we'll get back to reading. So let's go back to this document that I was like, and this can be found if you do !solitary in the chat, and hopefully if anyone wants, and this will also be, if I upload this on YouTube or whatever, it'll be in the description so that people can find the rule list, and we can also adjust it if people in the community find issues with it or want to add or like adjust or edit things. Must not take damage from any source. If damage is taken at any time before the final trial is completed, you must restart and complete all trials again. So just like other challenges like the no-hit run in Dark Souls, you get hit, even if it's on the final boss, back to the beginning, loser. Try again. Very similar to a no-death run, but instead of a no-death, we're doing a no-damage run, like completely. Must stream or record gameplay for verification purposes. The only reason I put this on there is if anyone wants to like like prove that they did it, but I said if officially participating, which is not currently a thing. So I just kind of said like if we get enough traction with this and people want to like compete and see who can do it the fastest, people, so you can do it the quickest, so you can do it with as little resources, like no rigs, no amps, no this, no that, on level 1, whatever it is. We can, that's if we were officially participating in something, which we're not. But I would prefer people stream and or record their gameplay so that we can see that they completed all the trials and there wasn't any shenanigans going on. Can be done solo or co-op up to 4 players. So you can do a solo run of each one, or you can do a duo, a 3-man, or a 4-man. Doesn't matter to me. You're more than welcome to do as many players as you want, depending, but I did put this stipulation rule: when in co-op, rules apply to all players. So when you're doing co-op, anyone takes damage, even if it's not you. You all have to restart and go back to the beginning and stop and whatever. Maybe done on any difficulty other than introductory. That is up to, like, ultimately these are my rules. I mean, ultimately people don't have to follow my rule set. But it may be done on any difficulty other than introductory, so you can do it on standard. I was thinking of starting on standard, trying to do this all 51 mission thing in a row. If we complete it without much issue, then I'll go to intensive. And if intensive doesn't prove to be hard, then we'll go to psychosurgery. And that'll give me something to do. So once we complete the solitary confinement challenge on standard, we have solitary confinement on intensive and solitary confinement on psychosurgery. So that checks out too. So let me bring up the document again. Sorry, it minimized. So then I just have some clarifying, like, one-off rules that I was thinking of just in case. Like, these are like, I guess this would also be called the FAQ section, the frequently asked questions. Any loadout, rigs, amps, and prescriptions is allowed. Heal rig is allowed, but effectively useless other than for the enemy slowdown effect. So if you really like using the heal rig for slowing down enemies when they get close to you with a fully level heal rig, they'll like slow to a crawl for a few seconds while you can run away. If that's useful for you on your solitary confinement runs, fucking more power to you. But the heal, obviously, or maybe, and also the psychosis, you can like heal your psychosis meter so you don't encounter the Skinnerman. If you want to use heal rig, you can. It is allowed, but obviously you can't restore health with it, because if you take damage, you have to restart. Any amp that grants healing as well, hide and heal, good job, are also allowed, but effectively useless. So I just put that on there to say you can use them, but don't waste a slot because they're useless. Damage from carrying a poison gas canister too long. So when you carry one of those red canisters that have the poison vapors, and if you hold it for too long, your health goes down. That does count as damage taken, so you have to make sure you put those down, or when you're in a gassy area, like in Franco's missions, you have to hide or only go in there for a limited time. If you take damage from gas, poison gas, it does count as damage, and you do have to restart. So this is one of those missions are going to be part of like the problem. It's going to be very hard. This is not something that's going to be it's going to be less common because we're doing Genesis trials. So there's not many variators, but cold snap or a cold environment like on the resort, that would also count. So if you take damage from being cold on Lilia's missions, or just in general, if we were doing something with cold snap, that would also count. Or any other non-traditional source of damage would result in a reset. So it's just one of those things. It's like any type of damage, doesn't matter what type of damage you take damage, you have to restart. When attacked by the pouncer, as long as no damage is taken, the use of a brick or bottle to deal with her is allowed. So if she jumps on you and you have a brick or bottle and you hit her with it and no damage is taken on your health bar, you're good to go. You can continue playing. Even though you got attacked, you didn't lose any health. Even if she does a single hit to you, that's damage. You have to restart. Full psychosis, in which the Skinnerman damages the player, results in a reset as well. So when you go into psychosis, if you have an antidote in your inventory and you immediately breathe that shit in before the first part of your health starts ticking down, you're more than welcome to keep playing. That is not damage, even though you went into psychosis and the Skinnerman attacked you or whatever. As long as you don't take damage and you take the antidote, or you find one early enough, or let's say you're a god and you can outrun the Skinnerman, completely without taking a single hit of damage. If you're that good, you don't have to restart because you didn't take damage. And then timing and speedrunning is allowed but not required. So, like I said, I'm not going to be speedrunning this, but I was talking to Man Baby. Like, let's say this challenge becomes a thing in the like Outlast Trials community. People like to want to try it and like try their luck. If two different people, two solos, two groups of 4, two groups of 2, two groups of 3, whatever, want to compete, like, hey, I beat all the trials without getting hit in 45 minutes. Or no, well, that would actually that wouldn't make sense. That would probably be very quick if you could do it that fast. I guess technically you could probably do it in a couple hours, but let's say, okay, 3 hours, right? Well, I did it in 2.5 hours, so we're better than you. You guys can time, you can speed run, you can optimize if that's what you guys want to do, but I am just requiring that the main thing you do is like not take damage and beat it at your own pace. So that is the Solitary Confinement Challenge. This document is available to be looked at by typing in the command !solitary. And so what I'm going to probably do soon, as early as maybe tomorrow we'll do it, or maybe it might not be unfortunately till next week actually, but we're going to start by, on standard mode, we're going to just start, and you can also do these in any order. One thing I should add to the rule list is you can do these in any order. If you really want to get freaking Pervert the Futterman out of the way, because that one is hard for you for whatever reason, by all means do Pervert the Futterman. But as long as you remember the order in which you did things, because then you're just wasting your own time if you do the same mission because you forgot that you did it earlier. So have a checklist. I'm planning on having like an overlay on the screen somewhere like that will count how many of the trials we're currently on. So like we'll be on like 13 of 51, and if we die or if we get hit, we have to restart, it'll go back to 0 out of 51, and then we'll count up again. So we'll have like a label on the screen. I'm planning on doing that. And yeah, I just think it'd be kind of a fun challenge. We just did a Nostrophobia. We just did one of these, an A+ on standard, without taking any damage. It's possible. You can not take damage in this game, but it does take a little bit of doing and a little bit of, like, actually knowing the game and, like, playing it efficiently to be able to do that. So, just saying, but it's going to be fun. So, anyway, so that's the end of, like, the little spiel. If you're just hanging out and just wanted to hear what the challenge was about, thank you so much for watching. And we might do this as early as next week, but we'll be streaming it, and maybe, depending on how good the challenge goes, maybe I'll upload some clips and stuff to YouTube as well. So thank you so much for watching, and let's get back to the regularly scheduled program.